it's MK and I am here for a mixed media mayhem layout for you guys. And today we are taking the inspiration from this gorgeous layout by Angelica De Bruin, and I am combining it with Baby Got Scraps. So I'm actually going to be doing a 2-page companion page layout to Angelica's inspiration layout. So I've got these 5 photos that I would like to put on a page, a couple chipboard sets from Dusty Attic. I love these chipboard pieces. I'm going to color them using some Tattered Angels, Glimmer Mist, as well as some shimmers. So the Glimmer Mists are Morning Gold and Red Ruby. These were gifted to me in a sister swap. And then colorings in Don't Citron Me for the shimmers. I have 2 film strips that I would like to include in this layout. And then I picked out these 2 pieces that just are little words about baking memories and things like that. I have these 2 clusters from Some Assemblage Required that I would like to add onto the layout. And then my scraps. So some of these scraps are packaging that I have been using, and some of them are actual cardstock pieces. And then they're just little leftovers from the Christmas collection, the 49 and Market Christmas Spectacular collection that I was working with in December. And then I'm going to add this really cool Reminisce. I think it's from the Delish collection, or it could be the Biting collection. Oh my gosh, I don't remember, you guys. I apologize that I don't remember, but I just like the black and white feel for it. I think it's going to work on my layout. Now, the thing about Baby Got Scraps is you are only allowed to have 1 piece of 12 by 12 for your layouts, and then you're supposed to make the scraps work. Now, I brought in 3 because one of them is actually just going to be used as a foundation to hold my scraps as I make the base piece. Did I need it? Not necessarily, no, but I wanted it for stabilization because that Reminisce piece is not as thick as my 49 and Market, and then it would have just been so heavy on one side had I not included my cardstock. So that's why I'm cheating here. Now I'm showing you guys this little tumbler that I received, or I didn't receive it. I purchased it off of Amazon, and it mixes up my my sprays like fabulous. If you guys can see all of that super cool glitter at the bottom of these Tattered Angels, it's just fabulous having one of those mixers, so you don't have to sit there and shake up your spray bottles, your paint bottles, your paint pens, your glitter gel pens, whatever it is. It seriously shakes it all up at 4,000 RPMs, you guys, and you don't even feel it in your hand. I thought I was going to feel it, kind of like an impact gun, but I don't. It just is a very nice little swirl in my hand, and it just shakes it up super, super easy. I do have to give it just a hair little shake at the end. I think that's mostly just because of habit more than a necessity. So I am trying to get all of my pieces covered just using sprays. I did also pick sprays where the glimmer, the shimmer, the sparkle matched the color in the spray, because when it comes to chipboard sometimes, I don't want to say all the time, but sometimes soaks in all that color, and all you're left with at the top is the glimmer. And if it's not the color you want, it's very hard to get rid of that glimmer on the top, because it's just stuck there, and it just keeps soaking in color after color after color. Now, I have tried to color these in white and then add color. It did not work in my favor at all. Like, the color would just slide right off of the white. It did not work. Now, maybe I should try gesso instead. I'm anti-gesso, so maybe I will give that a try. I do have a couple gesso bottles, containers. So yes, I could try gesso and give it a go one more time, but it just wasn't. It's just, I really just like picking out colors that are solid all the way through, and then I get the look that I'm going for on my chipboard. I keep wanting to call it wood veneer. It's not wood veneer, it's chipboard. All right, so I'm going to trim down these photos. Some of them are going to be 5 inches tall. Some of them are going to be 4 inches tall. Well, a little less. 5 enough to give me an 1/8 inch border. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take my my one sheet of 12 by 12, and like I said, I'm doing 2 pages, so I allowed myself 2 12 by 12s, one for the Mixed Media Mayhem layout and one for the Baby Got Scraps layout, but they are the same layout even though they're not going to look the same. I'm not stretching Angelica's layout across 2 pages because I had too many scraps to play with. I didn't want to dwindle down the scraps even more to where I had more scraps. So I'm just doing a companion page. They don't match in any way, shape, or form except for the fact that they use the same embellishments. But other than that, I think that we are golden when it comes to them looking cohesive in the page. Now I'm trying to figure out, and I'm sorry this is taking forever. I clearly can't do the math, you guys. I know that together my photos are making 9 inches, but I trimmed them down so they got a border. So do I cut the paper at 9 inches and I trimmed my photos down to where they automatically make the border, or do I have to finagle it a little bit? And I was just having a hard time wrapping my brain around getting this photo mat because I only wanted one photo mat instead of lots and lots of little scraps of trying to cut out, a 4x5 and a 4x5 and a 4x4 and a 4x4. I would have had so many leftover scraps had I have done it that way that it just would have drove me nuts. So clearly I still got the math wrong. But that's great because now I get this one strip of green paper that I can use on the other layout. And that makes me so happy. Like, oh, yay, I have this green piece of paper. At first I was going to throw it away. And then I decided, no, I'm going to wait till I'm done with my project. And then I throw my scraps away, or my trash, what I think is trash. So I'm trying to figure out how to mat this photo here. This is like the end result of all this baking. Every year, my kids and I pick a dessert, a cookie, a bread, a something, and we bake it, and then we gift it to our friends and family. Well, not our family anymore because we don't have any family local anymore, but we just now result in gifting to friends, right? And so we have to either decide whether or not we're going to double a recipe because of how many we need to gift. Most of our family, or most of our friends, oh my gosh, spit it out. Most of our friends, we all have 3 to 4 to 5 children. And so they're rather large children. And I'm the point where if I like a cookie, I want more than one. So I don't want to just gift one cookie per person in the household. I like to gift a lot, at least 3 per person in the household, because if they like it, then they have another one and they don't have to, they don't feel like they have to share just one cookie. And then if it's, if it's the smaller family, then, I like my girlfriend, I usually just gift her 2 to 4, because it's just her and her husband. And then if her kids come over and they want to snack on one, then that's fine. I don't feel bad, things like that. So we always try to pick out, breads and things that we can make multiples of and make it easier on us. Okay, so when I first started putting my layouts together, I actually forgot that I was supposed to be doing a Mixed Media Mayhem layout. And then I realized, oh no, this one is all by itself. It's going to be the main feature. If I put those stripes there, then it just doesn't work, like at all. I liked the fact that my green piece was ripped and I was able to use that lacy border on the striped piece, the red and green stripe, as if it was meant to be. And so I just really liked how I've got all these vertical lines going down on one page because I'm going to have horizontal lines going on the other page. So I really just liked how these 2 pages complement each other. And I am going to be using the same embellishments for both layouts. I'm using the same papers except for the fork and spoon paper. Now, not necessarily you don't eat cookies with forks or spoons, but there is a bread in here. And so sometimes people eat their bread depending on if, like this one here had an icing on top. And so I can picture that one being eaten with a fork. I know it's definitely cut with a knife, things like that. So it doesn't necessarily make any sense using the silverware paper, but in my brain it does, because a lot of utensils are used in the making of all of these cookies. And I've never actually cataloged how we make the cookies and the bread and all that stuff. So this year, 2023, not 2024, I need to quit saying that because it's technically last year. But in 2023, I actually cataloged the ingredients and us making them, because normally I just do the end result. This is what it is. This is what it looks like right before we take it. It's not pretty pictures or anything like that. Either way, they're not pretty pictures, but it still was kind of interesting because we start with, well, depending on who's home, we start there, but I like to have all the ingredients out on the table for all the cookies and then separate them. And then, okay, so this one uses these ingredients that no other recipe uses. So let's do this one first, then we can get rid of all these ingredients off the counter. And then I move the ingredients down as we need it. Like all the recipes take sugar, all the recipes take flour, all the recipes take butter. And then we just keep moving the ingredients into the next pile. And the one that doesn't have, like the one that has maybe 2 off ingredients because they're different spices, is the last one that we make, because we need all these ingredients and we can clear off the counter by the time we get to that one. And it's just really weird. I've never noticed how OCD I was on that until I started taking pictures and actually cataloging it. Like, I am really OCD when it comes to, Project Bake. And my kids never say anything. It's just like, okay, Mom, are you ready? Yep, let's go. And it's just so organized and all ready for them, that all we have to do is read the recipe and get going. Okay, so for my mixed media in the background, I did notice that Angelica used a stencil up at the top, like a little starburst, and I didn't think that was going to look really well on this particular layout for me. And so I just decided to do a faux packaging technique using a stamp block. I sprayed my my morning glow or whatever that Tattered Angels spray was in yellow on my block. I gave it a little squirt of water, and then I put it on my glass desk to move it around. Instead of putting it straight onto my page, I put it on my glass desk, kissed the desk with my block, and then I was able to get all of this stamping off of that one spray, because I didn't want it to be too much. I wanted it to be microscopic, just like you can barely tell that she has any mixed media at all except for splatters around her photos. And so that's how I really wanted it. And I do like the little glow of the yellow peeking out here and there from my pages. I like that addition to this particular layout. If not, it was definitely, red and green heavy. So I split my poinsettias in half to where I had enough. I got 3 poinsettias on one layout and 3 poinsettias on the other layout. And then I was going to figure out how to incorporate my my wood clusters with these poinsettias, because yes, I can cut them because they are super thin, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to. And then when I stacked them to put them off to the side, I put the large poinsettia on top, and I really liked how that looked. Now, you don't get to see the center cluster in my wood veneer, but that's fine. I am perfectly okay with that, because now I have this beautiful poinsettia sticking out with all this, well, it's not greenery, it's brownery sticking out from around it. So I really did like that as well. It was a happy a happy happenstance that it just fell like that. I wasn't sure what to do with this third poinsettia until I moved it down at the bottom, and I really liked that because now I don't have the large cluster up at the top. I have a large cluster down at the bottom and a medium cluster up at the top. And I really do like this. I'm starting to embrace the blank space, you guys. I really am. So I'm trying my hardest. If the layout is small, if the layout doesn't use up a whole lot of the layout, then I'm trying my hardest to also mimic that. And I felt like this was a win. Yay. So now I am moving on to my companion page, just because this is my most Baby Got scraps. I mean, I did definitely use scraps to create the other page, but this one here, I get to use up a lot of scraps. And like I said, with the second, white piece of paper, did I need it? No. But do you see where I've got my lacy strip with my green? That would have been so super hard to hold that together with washi tape. Even though the green and the forks and spoons overlap quite a bit, I was comfortable with that. But the forks and spoons paper was super thin. So I felt like I needed that base piece, which I definitely could have added a little after recording, and nobody would have known that I cheated and used two 12 by 12s on this layout. But honestly, it just was unavoidable when I wanted to put this together. I was so excited after creating Angelica's piece. I was so excited to have this this matching page go right next to it and showcase all of our pretty baking. My daughter does no bake cookies. She's kind of a stickler. They're Dad's favorite, so she makes them for everybody. So that one down on the lower right hand corner is her no bake cookies that she does pretty much every year. And then the other three are my son's. Shocker, huh? One of them are peanut butter and jelly cookies. This year we did peanut butter and jelly bars. 2023, you guys. It wasn't this year. And then I don't remember what the other, the bread, I think the bread is some sort of orange bread or something like that. I don't remember, you guys. It was a while ago. So I'm just trying to add in a couple of the other similar elements like the other page, so that way I can get a companion page, but I knew it wasn't going to look anything like Angelica's page over on the right side. So my poinsettias were missing something. So I went into my enamel dots, which I had to actually dust off the container. I clearly don't use enamel dots like I should. I really need to. I think that's going to be my next product focus. So this one here was cleaning out my bin of some assemblage required embellishments for this month. And then I think next month I'm going to product focus on enamel dots and things like that. So maybe, I don't know yet, but I do know for 2024, every month I want to do a product focus all month long to try and dwindle down my stash. I really am disliking having things to where I have to dust it off to use it. It was not pleasant for me when I saw that that I hadn't touched my enamel dots for a while. All right, you guys, so that is my layout. Well, both of my layouts for today. I really do I love how these layouts turned out. I just absolutely love the Dusty Attic chipboard piece elements that were added to this. I felt like they just really made this layout come together super simple. I love all the little black elements that were provided mostly by the Forks and Spoons paper. I really don't feel like it's out of place on this particular layout. Angelica, thank you so much for allowing us to use your use your layout as an inspiration. Also, too, don't forget to check out the Facebook group for Mixed Media Mayhem. And then, of course, there's a link for just the album down below if you guys are already a member of the group. And then the list down below for the Baby Got Scraps. It is quite the long list. But remember, not everybody is playing every day. So if you don't mind giving it a click, checking to see who's got videos up and whatnot. And yeah, we'll go that way. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.